We got a lot of vacation time coming up, so as soon as we're done with Christmas, get that over with, I'm gonna start buying some parts and start building and getting the truck ready for spring, because we'll be driving it this year. I'd like to make it to the dunes and like to do some more dirt drags or just something. Tired of just staring at it and listen to it run in the garage. All right, so I want to get rid of all my gauges here. The only one that actually still works is the speedometer, but it's way off. So I'd like to take this cluster out and put in a blank, and then buy a GPS speedometer that has the blinkers in it, and then maybe just center that or stick one over here, and then I can get rid of this GPS because I bought this one, it was cheap. I still got a USB hookup here, so that's why I run the power, but it quit working and it's right in the way and it just irritates me. So I want to get that going, and then I can rehook into everything off that new gauge. All right, go ahead and knock this out. It's been a while since I've been behind this one. I don't even know what it looks like anymore. By the way, deck screws work great in this truck, especially when the little clips are messed up. As long as nobody notices it, the person that notices is going to be you. I looked one of these up online. They're about 150 bucks for a blank one, because I would like to just put the piece in here and replace this instead of trying to make aluminum like I did over here. I just don't need it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pull these off. It's been so long since I had this apart. Sits there. I think there's supposed to be screws in this, and I think I just stuck it on there. Well, no, because you got to go through the bezel to hold it, so it's all one piece to hold it. I couldn't remember how this comes out, but the speedo cable's got a little clip, and then that should be the only thing holding it in. So this is the 82 to 85, and the wiring harness that's in it was out of my 86. So it will go into, I don't know what you call it, but anyway, it'll hold and work on this dash. The only difference is I had to repin it. So I took my old one and I just followed the wire paths and figured out which one was which. And then I took the other one and I just started pulling the pins out and moving them over and making it work. But it's so tight the way it is that it doesn't stay anymore. So it always comes unplugged, and my blinkers, I can never see them. I had one time I drove down the road with my fucking blinker on because I can't see it, and I just wasn't thinking at the time to check my blinker. So I don't really want to do anything fancy. So I'd like to just get a gauge, or maybe I'll get another gauge too at some point. I don't know. Just something that I can see my speedometer, and it'll be a GPS, because this one's way off. This one's like 25 mile an hour off last time I checked. And I'll have my blinkers, I'll have headlight, I'll have everything right here, instead of trying to run all this and then trying to run that. It just makes everything a pain in the ass. And I did pull out all the bulbs that I didn't need, because obviously when I built the truck, I wasn't going to use the factory gauges. I just left them there so it still looked like a truck. But at this point, that doesn't bother me. But I only had the 3 down here that I needed. I can't really see, but I guess you can kind of see. So I had left and right blinker, and then I had high beam. And those were the only lights that I actually needed. Those were the only ones I kept in there. So I didn't need any of these. So what I'll do then is I'll have to refigure out like which one my blinker is, and then figure out what pin that is, and then I can just tap into it with the new speedometer. And you just need power and ground, and then you just tap into whatever you need. So my factory harness still works, I just can't get it to work with this. I also want to get my vacuum gauge hooked back up, and then I still got one spot that's empty that I'd like to put something in, or maybe I'll find something that kind of plugs it, so it makes it look like it doesn't just have an empty hole. And then I gotta paint it because it's black and it's not red like the rest of it. At some point, I think I still got another distribution block, but I can't remember. But I didn't think I'd have all these wires on this post, and it's a little more than there should be. So I want to get another one and then just kind of jumper it so I can have just my accessories, like the MSD. And then I'll have this one just for the battery and alternator. That way it's not so cobbled, and hopefully it doesn't turn cherry red at some point. Got to pull the water pump back off. This gasket's leaking towards the bottom. So I got to pull the alternator bracket back off, pull the hose back off, pull the water pump back off, clean it up, change the gaskets, put it back together. I think we're also going to get some paddle tires for it. Or maybe just some 31s cut, because these are 34. They're 35, but they're actually a 34-inch tire. It's pretty close on the fender, and I'm worried if I get bouncing around that it's going to rip some stuff apart. So I'd like to drop down to like a 31-inch tire, just for playing in the sand and dirt. And then just groove them kind of like a paddle, because the paddle tires I was looking at, I can't get them smaller than a 33-inch, and it's just going to put me exactly where I'm at again, because you got to include the paddles. So I would really like to put paddles on it, but the only ones I can find that'll work for me are the UTV, and I don't actually know if the UTV ones will hold up.